Okay, welcome to this morning, the 30th of November 2025. About a foot of snow. See right here on top of the pumpkin, my revetment right here, and I just dug out of. Got the snow cleared off the vehicle, ready to hit the road here. There's a good 5 or 6. It's on my lower air dam. Of course, the vehicle's cleaned off good, and yeah, the snow's right up there damming up underneath it, but I'm not worried. I just have to go right out to here and then down the unplowed Strasse. Neighbor over here, she's also got her electric snow blower out, and it works good. It really works good. She's taking care of that in fine shape. All right, I'll be right back. Hi.
Hi.
What you doing?
I'm playing with my new toy.
It looks good.
Yeah.
It throws it like the Dickens.
I know, it's just hard to decide which way to throw it.
As you can see, the neighborhood streets, they have between 10 inches and a foot of snow standing in it, where some people have, of course, driven through here in the last day, overnight. It won't be long and the city will be through here. They're out already. They've been out. But with, there's a nice couch. Like to have a seat. Sing Frosty the Snowman. Have that corn cob pipe and the carrot nose and the eyes made out of coal. We'll go up here and check the weather station, see if it's correct. This is something that we have to watch if up here in Michigan during the winter, especially if you live by a fire hydrant. It's not your responsibility, but it's kind of being a good neighbor if you clear them off and dig out from around them. So if there's an emergency, the fire department doesn't have to try to find it and do it when that kind of thing happens. This one's almost ready to be dug out. Some are marked, and they have about a 6-foot pole with a red and white fire hydrant marking on it. And you can see, I think there's one right here. Yeah, it's right here on the stop sign. Reminds people that nearby right there's a fire hydrant just below it. There you go. Yeah, it gets that deep. Yeah, very festive right here. Very nice. Yes. Of course, they didn't get around to putting up these telephone poles right here. They ran out of a season. You can see the pole still laying there, and they ran out of trimming season too, so I don't think there'll be any more trimming. Very nice right here too on the corner. I think they still have lights up, and right here is our neighborhood, and actually I call it the county weather station. And yes, again, as always, it is accurate. Very accurate. Let's get out here and see if we can watch some snow plows someplace. Pretty much everything's going to be closed today. Another snow blower right there at work. Even though the grocery store right here has been open for about an hour and 40 minutes, there's hardly anybody there. It is lucky in a way that this is Sunday morning, and kids, of course, don't have school. And they might not tomorrow either. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to be doing a then and now a little later, right over here next to me, where I'm setting a really cool little establishment that used to right in there way back in the day, before Bacchus was in here or any of the other businesses that were here. There's quite a little store. It's set right about this location. Of course, there was a gas station back in the day here, and that'll show in the then and now when I get around to doing that one. Now here's a little side shot. Take a loop through the parking lot right next to me. Now this is just what they've cleared overnight here. Okay, go to show you the snowfall and the type of equipment that it takes to keep these parking lots and properties clear. Okay, now this is a good sized little parking lot. They've been working on this for quite a while. Okay, you have the trucks, the pickup truck right here with what looks like a Western plow in the front of it. They're doing the little pickup work and the trim work, as it were. Okay, but the big loader over here, you can see that loader has a parking lot plow on the front of it. And it's getting the big stuff. Okay, we're gonna just blow right on by here a second, and you'll see right around here, this is what they're plowing. Look at the size of the mountain just overnight. That's just overnight. That's 12 foot tall. That's what they're talking about. Okay, the roads are snow covered and slippery. I'm not in four-wheel drive. I do have a little extra weight in the rear end. I put my sandbags back there, and that really helps. You can feel it. I have almost a full tank of gas. That puts a little extra weight back there as well. But you know, icy road rules apply. The state police have not closed down the highways yet. Sometimes we get blizzard conditions, and the state police will, and the county sheriff too, will make a statement, an announcement that it is illegal to be on the roads. You must be off the roads, and they'll actually close exit ramps and so forth, not allowing people on the highways. When it gets real bad, I've seen it, and then you stay home. If there's a medical emergency, of course, 911, everything like that. But to be out on the street, you better have a real good reason, and so forth. These folks here are driving about 20 miles an hour right there. If I were going to take Howard Street Hill to the right and downhill, I would probably use four-wheel drive, but I'm not going to take Howard Street Hill. The car ahead of me is. They close Howard Street Hill, like I mentioned, and a couple other of the hills here in the vicinity, when it gets real slippery and real bad, because you can't make it up and you can't make it down till they get in there and clear it and sand it. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, this hill right here going down Oakland is a glare of ice. I am going barely 10 miles an hour, less than that right now. See, they have their loader over here trying to dig out this end of the park of their little parking lot. You have to be mindful of the lights like this when they change and so forth. Give yourself plenty of time to slow down and stop. Halt! Alto. It's a great time to come down here and do a little video, if you're able. A storm like this, a Sunday, everybody's in. It's almost exactly like Christmas morning. Nobody on the street, give or take 1 or 2 cars at the best. Get down here and literally find a place to safely park and stand in the middle of Michigan Avenue and do videos looking straight up and down Michigan Avenue on like Christmas morning and just show this is what it looks like. You know, I've done that. I don't know if I'll do it this year. We'll have to see. You can see the bike lanes aren't plowed. That's everything over here that's white and not plowed. I have 2 lanes right here that are traffic lanes. And this is soon to be changed to 2-way traffic. So I'll be heading east and there'll be other traffic coming right at me here heading west. And then all these bicycle lanes over here on the right. I think you're even supposed to park over here too, but I don't know. I'm still confused about all that. I'm from the old school. Well, we might get some plowing up here. See what happens. I'll be back shortly. There is more traffic down here than there would be on a Christmas morning today. So I take that back. It was a little bit sparse out where we were at, but down here, some people out around, out and about. All right. People over here clearing the sidewalks. This has to be the city. Take a little pass by Bronson Park. They had the Christmas tree lighting. I believe it was yesterday. And I did not attend. We are going to come down and take some rides on the Holly Jolly Trolley here pretty soon. Another couple days, but yes, they did get the park all wrapped up. I think they said President Lincoln here also has a big red Santa's bow tie on him, and you can just see him. We'll see him from the other direction. Right there's the life-size bust of Abraham Lincoln. Some say that it may even be Titus Bronson. That's a whole nother story about the ghost of Bronson Park down here. Is it Titus Bronson? Because he's seen with a stovepipe hat and a little scruffy beard. He was a slender fella, rather tall. Or was it Abraham Lincoln who gave a speech here back in the day? That's the big question of the paranormals down here. All right, let's go around the block and see this from another direction. And of course, we have athletes out for their morning constitutional. I'm not going to push these fellas, but they are in my lane. There's a sidewalk right over here to their left. But who's to complain? There we go, see? Glare of ice. Alright, we'll take a little look at this from the other side of the park right here. Another angle. There's the Native American mound right there. There's the city Christmas tree right in the center. That's very nice. There's Honest Abe there in the background, covered with snow. Yeah. Get a little angle here. This is the city Christmas tree. And there's Honest Abe right in the background, covered with snow and a big red bow around his neck. Very interesting. Very interesting. People sitting out there in the park benches. Right here is where they have the menorah. I don't see that quite here yet this year, but position about right there, and they have the menorah lighting. All right, let's go down the mall and see how festive that looks. Maybe we can fire a 21 gun salute out of the Rodman and Columbiad. That'd be something. Right back. Okay, here we are, the corner of the Kalamazoo Mall, the Kalamazoo building here on our immediate right. Used to be the tallest building in the city of Kalamazoo. It was built right across the street from the Hanselman building that was on this corner. Seen a video of that earlier. And also, it was clumbed by the human fly. And here is Santa down here. All right, of course, later, after the Hanselman building became the tallest edifice in Kalamazoo, American National Bank building right there was built and outdid them both. Okay, let's see the mall here. Of course, this used to be a driving mall with street cars and a horse-drawn and the whole thing. And it went back in 1959 to a pedestrian mall. And about a decade or so ago, a little beyond that, they turned it back into a driving mall again. One way instead of two way, and the way it was before. And of course, no streetcars. And no streetcars that are named Desire. In the comments below, if you like that movie, give it a thumbs up. Yeah, here we go. A lot of history right here on these four corners as well. I've done then and nows. The trees are wrapped, but there's not a lot of festive lighting down here like there was in the past. In the days of yore, I'm going to use the term pre-COVID. There's a nice wreath over here on the bank. Nice little Christmas tree out in front as well. That's nice and festive. Alright, I'll be right back. Thought we might just get lucky and the State Theater would have its lights going this morning. But we are not so fortunate. I'm going to try to cross this little dike here. Whoa! In the road. They'll get that plowed out of there. Again, I feel like Hans Brinker. My silver skates. Climbing over that dike. They're getting it all shoveled out. The Dolphin, they're open. All right. I will be back momentarily. Comes a city truck right here. Watching the lights. Got the scraper and the sander. On the back of it here, he has a salt shaker, they call it. Spreads salt. He's spreading it right now in the intersection. I can see it running. There's another one of those ex-cop cars ahead of me. That's a state trooper right there. Police Interceptor. It says right on that badge. Yep, it's an old state trooper's vehicle. Alright. Just in case it's not, I'm going to hang back here a little ways. No, the license plate's not right. It's privately owned. It's a Police Interceptor. Kind of cool to get some pictures. Great old homes down here. One might ask, what's the oldest home standing in the city of Kalamazoo look like during a storm? Right there. That's what the oldest home in Kalamazoo looks like during a storm. Everybody else can walk on down the street. That's right. Old homes down here as well. Turned into law offices. All kinds of things. Hey, here we're going up Westnedge Hill, heading southbound. It is slippery. Still, I have not had to use four-wheel drive. Back when I was a boy, there were green barrels of sand spotted along the sidewalk here, along the curb, to your right as you went up the hill. And if you needed traction, you could stop and get out and grab some of that sand and spread it underneath your tires on the road surface and get yourself up the hill. Back in the day when my dad was a boy, they had teams of horses spotted there at the bottom of the hill, and you couldn't make it up, and the gentleman would hook his team up to your vehicle and pull your vehicle up to the top of the hill. Yeah, and my dad and his buddies used to go down there sledding in the park there, in Crane Park, and sometimes they would get a little bored sledding and they'd sit there and watch the horses pull the cars up the hill. Yep, back in the 30s. All right, now this is the south side of the hill, and I am testing my brakes right now. I'm going exactly 20 miles an hour. The person ahead of me is going about 30. And right there, see, I'm sliding, so no. So you keep your foot off the brake and you just let the car coast, and we'll flatten out right down here in the flats, I should say. Okay, I'm going 22 miles an hour. I am going to put a little brake on. I'll slow right down, let her just naturally slow down. Stay off that brake. Right until you come right here and ease it to a stop. You can see the fire hydrants here are covered in Hunter's orange or Blaze orange wrappings, and you can see the fire hydrant pole right here alerting the firefighters that down there somewheres is your water supply. All right, I'll be right back. As we drive along here, you'll see independents coming by plowing the snow. See there? Independents plowing these parking lots and so forth. We'll probably see quite a bit of that this morning as we get down here. Now, I mentioned about being a good neighbor earlier and keeping those fire hydrants dug out when you live by one, okay? Those that don't do that, the fire department will just plain and simple not hook up and stand there and roast the hot dogs and marshmallows right there at your premises. No, they won't. They pull up, they pretty much know where the hydrant is. They don't use a shovel right away. They'll use the hose, the actual fire hose on the truck, and high pressure, and they'll blow that thing right out. They'll blow the snow all from around it and everything else, and they will really blow that away real quick. But it wastes time and it wastes water, but it gets done. And they'll open that up and connect to it and so forth. But it's best if you have one by your house. It just takes a couple of minutes and it's dug out. It's not a big deal, and it really helps not only yourself, here comes some more independence here, but it helps your neighbors too, save lives. About 5 or 6 minutes work. Up. All right, see what this looks like down a little farther south here. Every year for decades, okay, the Christmas tree people have come and rented, and again, I just pulled in here, no four-wheel drive, okay? I went through about 13, 14 inches of snow, barreled right up through it. Yep, and here you have fresh Christmas trees for sale. In the summer, of course, this is the root beer stand. And we've been here, did a couple videos, but in the Christmas season, they bring out their best. You can see all the beautiful cut Christmas trees. You come in here, and wreaths as well. You can pick out which one you'd like. And the same company, that's Wamhoff Farms, they're out west of Kalamazoo on the way to South Haven. They also have their tree farms out there, and you can pick. Go out there and pick your own. That's right. Great family company, family business, the whole deal. The Wamhoffs, of course, it is the family business as well, the root beer stand. All right, right back. Yeah, you even have sand and gravel companies like right there, out with a sanding truck and so forth. In the summer they haul sand and gravel, and in the winter they spread salt and sand. Independent contractors, private contractors. Myers over here, they have their whole parking lot cleaned out already this morning. Back here in the very back, you can see their big loader working in by their loading docks. Back there pushing the snow. Everybody out here, snow blowing. Of course, the independents clearing the parking lots. See a lot of that. This is the time of year, these independents, they love this. They have, many of them will do the lawns of these customers, these small businesses, take care of that, and then they do the snow in the winter. Their parking lots or their sidewalks or whatever. And then there's also just the independents that do nothing but snow plowing. Come knock on your door, and a driveway the size of mine, which is hardly anything, you know, they get $60, $80, you know. I remember when it was $20 and they do 100 feet for $20. I think those days are gone. Yep. I would not want to imagine what it costs to clear the mall up here. We're going to take a look at that equipment here in just a couple minutes. I'm heading that way right now on my way home. I kind of know what it costs to run heavy equipment, and even if you have light insurance, we'll say, and you have imported employees, we'll say, which work at a discount, to clear a mall like it's down here, I bet you that contract's $100 grand a year. I'd be surprised if it was less than that. If it is, man, somebody's getting a deal. This is just crazy size already, and this is Southland Mall, okay? This isn't even the this isn't even Crossroads. I'll take a look at this real careful through here. Yeah, they have her all cleared out. All right, go down here and see some heavier equipment. I do believe. Now this one right here is almost like Mount Suribachi. I'm not making light of that either. Got the flag up on top. Of course, it's on a building right behind this pile of snow. That's something else. That's just overnight. Now you know the weather's bad when it's a Sunday and Chick-fil-A is closed. I'll be right back. Well, let's take a little trip down Mall Drive right here. You have to watch these corners. They're not plowing, they're cutting the corners. Yeah, there we go. All right, Mall Drive. Well, here's another robotic police officer. Right here, I haven't seen this one before. They need to clean off their solar panels right there. Move along, move along, move along, move along. Nothing to see, nothing to see. All right, I'll be out of here. Well, they used to sell pumpkins here in this vacant parking lot, and Christmas trees as well. Now they're building the Chase Bank. right next door to the Fifth Third. That used to be the old Kent. That used to be the American National Bank. I'll do a little video on this too. Yeah, there you go. I used to make fun of these when I was a kid. Well, 16, 17 years old, driving around out here in these parking lots looking at this stuff. Used to call them the Colombian snow piles. Be right back. Okay, folks, here we go. The largest known parking lot in this part of the universe. Let's whoa, yeah, we do have a big loader over there skimming across. I can't even get in the parking lot. Might be able to just pull right up here a second. The opposite lane of traffic. Watch this vehicle do his thing. That's at least a 944 class front end loader right there, heavy loader. Looks like he's pushing at least a 12 to 14 foot wide plow, especially invented to plow out parking lots, large parking lots. And that's exactly what that operator is doing. And he can pick that right up and he'll make those mountains. You see these big mountains of snow, 12, 14 foot tall. That's how they do it. That's how they're able to do it, with big loaders. Watch out, seagulls. They blew in from Lake Michigan. Yeah, they're just here overnight. Checked out the clubs. They head back. They're Chicago birds. They're going back and talking to the boss. Okay. That does a good little job. And that, believe it or not, folks, is their small loader. I said that was a 944 size class loader. It's close. It's a 914. It's a good looking deal. Good looking. All right. See you in the next one. Yes, that was a medium grade, we'll call it, a loader. Okay, and look at the job it was doing. And go back here to show you their heavy duty stuff. Like that wasn't. They have a little bigger equipment. Be right back. Drive along here, see a little V-plow action here in the Celebration Cinema parking lot. Have the plows in here doing their job, clearing the parking lot. You see, it takes a while to do it with pickup trucks, V-plows and so forth. All right, they do a good job. They stay right on it, do a really good job. Just takes a little while. And when you have these real big facilities, they have to turn to something a little different. We're gonna go down through the Farm and Fleet parking lot here. See if there's something larger. I seen it spotted over here earlier. Here they're using a Bobcat, little snow plow in the front. And this is the main driveway coming in here, one of the two. Right now he has it blocked off with snow, and he's clearing that all out right there. Pretty good job. Big piles out here. I think their equipment's still stored back here. We'll go take a look. Just the heavy equipment's come through here. I'm going through a foot of snow right now. Again, you know, no four-wheel drive. Just you can see here where they kind of shoveled this off this morning, here in front of the store, and this is 2 feet of snow. That embankment, I'm not going to hit that. I still kind of like my air dam. Same thing with these right here. I'll just get through this foot of snow and around the corner and see what they have. Oh boy, they're all out. They're all out in the parking lots. Right back here is where the equipment was positioned. Now we'll go over here and look in the main parking lot. See what we can find. They plowed themselves out of here this morning. You can see that. All right, I'll be right back. Uh-oh, store's closing. That's been about 6 furniture stores since that building was built. And the one right here in the corner, the same thing. This has been like a discount furniture and discount whatever. And now it's vacant. That was American Freight Furniture and Mattresses. Not anymore. Well, those large plows are not to be seen on that property. They must be farming them out to these other parking lots around here. It only makes sense. Get that job done, and why park them when you can come over here and do some more work. Even these roads right here are slippery. They're covered with slush and snow. They've been plowed, but they need to be scraped again and get this stuff off them here, which they'll do the initials and then come back through with the secondaries. We've been there before. $299.9. It was $292.9 downtown. These guys out here got to get on it. Comes a good size loader right here. Still not the size of the ones that I'm talking about. That's a good one. That's a deer. That is. They're 944 size. They're and bigger. That's what it takes. The gas station right here seems to be closed. It's not plowed. They still have lights on inside, but the sign isn't on. Yep. This area was hit with a tornado 2 years ago, and there's still buildings down here that are tore up and closed. You can see VP Pets, MVP Pet Store right there in the center. Yep. They have not reopened. And of course, next to Scott's right here, it's a wonderful store, a jewelry store, and so forth. It was a auto parts distributor. It was there for years. And they're hit, of course, with a tornado. And I'll show you their place here a second as we go by. Here's Scott's. He's taking right care of that parking lot. Good people right there. And here's the auto parts that are no longer with us. A couple other places along here as well. The generations old greenhouses right here on the corner. They're for sale. You can see the signs. Next door to that, Mother Paula, the spiritual reader and advisor. She's not plowed out. Here's Eden, the green sign right there. That's a cannabis place. They're not plowed out yet either. Maybe they couldn't find a lighter or something and get motivated this morning. I don't know. I'll be right back to see what else is not plowed out. Of course, the fireworks store. They're really booming today. We'll go up here and take Romance Road. We have a couple of really nice named streets in our town. Romance Road. It's not romance, it's romance. But some people get it mixed up. They call it, I live out on Romance Road. All right, we know. All right, we have Lover's Lane. Yes. Yep, that's right. We have Roach Siding and Roofing. They're the big name in siding. Yes, sir. All kinds of very interesting names. And more for sale signs. Used to be Sears Drive. It still is. It's the back door to the mall. The front door of the mall is JL Hudson Drive. Of course, that changed to Macy's. Well, I think that anchor store is still there, but the Sears is gone. And they're converting that whole Sears anchor store building into the Zap Zone. Mini golf, go-karts, arcade, restaurants, you name it. That's coming up. Here's what I do. I hand shovel. I did some shoveling today and I'm not done. Lord willing, my whole rest of my life, I will be able to shovel by hand. All right, roads don't look too bad. They are passable. I'm out in them with no four-wheel drive. Just a little expertise of driving in this weather for, well, some 55 years. Yeah, 55 years ago we drove just like a bat out of heck through this stuff. Yeah, we didn't care. 3 in the tree, big V8s, rear wheel drive too. None of that four wheel stuff. We're real Michiganders. Then you go up in the UP and you hear the guys up there talking, hey, what you talking to the UP? They almost sound, you know, well, they are. There's a lot of people from Scandinavia up there. And I made a lot of friends up there when I lived up there for a number of years. Yep, good people in the UP, salt of the earth. All right, I shall be right back and negotiate this stuff here. Now, we really did walk to school about a mile, maybe a little farther. I did in second and third grade. Good weather conditions, and there's a lot of kids walking along, and that was all right. Winter time, it was all right. We didn't have to walk uphill both ways, and all these stories you hear, you know, some people say how they had to walk 5 miles to school, and some people did. They really did. Back in the day, my mother was a teacher in a one-room schoolhouse in Manton, Michigan. She had grades 1 through 12 and in one room. And she'll tell you about snowy days, and kids would come in on their horses because there was no way that they could walk or they could, you know, be driven in a car. And so they had a couple of horses, and kids would ride horses into school. And she said one of the children would stop at another kid's house and pick them up, and they'd double ride that horse into school in bad weather. Yep, those are the days. The schools had little barns that in case the kids had an animal they'd bring in, that if it was bad weather, they could put them out in that little lean-to during the day. Pretty cool. It's all gone now. You can see right over here on this sign, Portage Public Schools have 61 state championships over the years. How do you like that? If I hold this, there's all the championships they won. Pretty cool. Right back. It's gonna make it kind of a mess as the leaves are still in piles here. People have put out, including myself, raked them out by the side of the road, and now they're covered with snow, and the plows come through, and I just noticed back there, I couldn't turn the camera on quick enough, but they've been hit. Just a mess all up and down the side of the road now. You know, it's part of this weather like this. They are supposed to come around for their third of the fourth pickups, and they didn't make it in time. So there's a mailbox right there knocked off. That happens in snow plowing too. You see the mailboxes here along the road here on the left, and they'll get hit. They come along here and people lose their mailboxes. Yes. But it's just part of the weather when it closes in like this. There's so much they can do with the time, and then that's it. Good chance they may still come around and do pickups with the leaves, but we're almost into December here, and one more day I can't see that happening. So they'll just get plowed up and down the street until they just wash away and mix in with everything else that's plowed up and down the street. The best way to say it. A little wind, a little sun dries it out. A little wind comes and blows it away. We keep paying our taxes. We're hoping that we will get all the services. And they don't do a bad job, like I said in an earlier video, but they do have day moments. There's a V-plow up ahead here, sitting in the middle of the street. And they are a contractor. I see they're cleaning out some streets and properties up ahead. I will not be able to get through here. I'm not going to force the issue, but I can go downhill. I can go downhill fast. What? You started gambling? No. I'm in the road. See here? Woo! Let's punch it. Right through 1.5 feet of snow, cutting these tracks. Look at this. It's over 1 foot deep. Easy. Going right through it. And then we have to make it back up the other side though, Joe. Right in 1 foot of snow. No four-wheel drive. That Sunoco Racing Fuel and Goodyear tires. Get here to the top. See if we can make the curve without hitting the pedestrians. See, the sidewalks are impassable. It is a law, not a request, that you have to keep your sidewalks clear in front of your home. And if not, the city will come and do it, and then they'll leave you a bill. And I have heard of 2 such bills last year. They weren't from my neighbors around here, but from another part of Kalamazoo. And yeah, you would not want that bill. You know, yeah, you wouldn't want that bill. I think the first one is $150, and the second one, I believe, is $250 or $500. So you see, it's best to grab your shovel. And there are agencies that if you have a mental or medical issue that you cannot come out and shovel, that they will come do it for you for free of charge. There are more than one place around Kalamazoo that will do that. And so they stay on it. But so far, you know, I don't see everybody here up the street. There's a man here in the corner right next to me shoveling. People here, okay, getting it cleaned off in front of their house. I'm going to do the same thing. I did a little bit this morning, but I have about 20 feet to go. I can do 20 feet in 5 or 6 minutes and save me $150. I think there's a car in the ditch straight ahead up here too. I think this vehicle up here has gone in. Yep, they are stuck. I'm going to slow down I'm going to see if I can go help them get them pushed out. Park right here anyway. I'll go down there and see what we can do. Be right back. Okay, I'm going to go down here and help these folks here a second. I'm going to sign off, and we'll see you in the next one. Please stay safe and warm.